Alberta has an Ottawa problem.
Yeah, that for sure.
For the last 10 years, Ottawa, led by successive Liberal governments, has taken direct aim at Alberta's core industry.
This is an opportunity for you to present how you feel about those topics.
I would like to see Alberta collect 100% of the taxes and then send to Ottawa what we think they deserve.
My last paycheck, I put $1,700 toward the CPP. I would rather that be in Alberta for Alberta infrastructure.
No, like I don't understand how taxes work in Canada. Like I live in Alberta, that's province. I'm paying provincial tax, right? For pretty much everything I see around, that should be financed from provincial tax. So why is the federal tax even more? Why am I sending more to Ottawa, which is in Ontario? And again, Ottawa has a provincial tax as well, right? Or Ontario. So why are we supporting Ontario this much? Only because we have oil and gas and make more money, pretty much, right? It's just ridiculous. So federal income tax and everything, it's just ridiculous. I think federal income tax is about 21% and the provincial is 8.5%, if I'm correct. And yeah, it just sounds ridiculous. And like Alberta with oil and gas, like we should be a rich province, but because of the compensation payments or equality payments or equalization or some BS like this, we're sending most of the money to other provinces. And it's like, you're surprised that we want to separate? Like, look, let me be honest, no one wants to leave Canada, but it's honestly like abusive relationship. Like sooner or later you're gonna have to leave. And you would think that the Liberal government and Mark Carney will try to persuade Albertans to stay within Canada. Because again, if Alberta leaves, like who's gonna pay for all of your BS that you're doing in other provinces, right? Alberta is actually the only one who's making money, especially now with Trump's tariffs on automobile industry and all of that. So you would expect that he's going to try to suck up to Albertans a little bit, be like, yeah, you can build a new pipeline, yeah, you can, how's the word? Not mine. Well, you can get more gas from the ground, right? Like you can up the production of the oil and all of this. But no, Liberal government and Mark Carney are literally trying to screw us even more. And what do you think is going to happen? Even the most loyal Albertans who wants to stay within Canada, they're not going to vote to stay in Canada when they cannot afford a normal life. And looking at Carney, how he's dealing with tariffs, like, why are we suffering because he's incompetent? Good job, Liberals. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Canada itself became autonomous from Britain through a process called responsible government, and power should be devolved toward closer to the people being governed.
If you look at Section 95 of the Constitution, it's a special section. It says that the provincial legislatures shall make laws on immigration and agriculture, and from time to time, the federal government will make laws. We've reversed it. We've allowed the federal government to take over complete control over both of those areas, and from time to time, we make laws.
Massive immigration, not actually the skill set that we're looking for, with very little control on the numbers, and that's putting huge pressure on health service, putting huge pressure on education, on schools, on housing, on cost of living.
I met with the new police chief in Calgary, was very delighted at the collaboration that they're having with the sheriffs.
Who likes the APP? And who would prefer no Alberta pension plan?
Alberta is a state of mind. It's an incredible, incredible culture, Western Canada.
Yeah, no.
I think that the difference of opinion just shows that this is important to everyone.
Okay, so Alberta, for those of you Americans who don't know, well, Texas people probably knows, Alberta is considered like Canadian Texas, right? Like it's a lot of cowboys, common sense and all of it. But another thing is regarding immigration. Obviously I'm an immigrant, right? So I don't know if I can talk about it, but anyway, the issue is that people emigrate to different provinces and then they will move to Alberta. And unfortunately, the way Canada's set up right now is that it doesn't really force immigrants to assimilate. Like, they don't even need to speak English. To pass the driving test, they're gonna get a translator. You should know what the signs mean in English, right? Because then obviously the cop will stop them. Well, out of nowhere, you don't have translation. And no, it's like, the things like this are ridiculous. Like, I'm all for immigration, but it needs to be enforced that the immigrants will assimilate with the culture, not that Canadian culture or Canadian government will force Canadians to actually assimilate to the immigrant culture. Like, you're not going to be changing laws because of the immigrants. Like, look, I came to Canada for a better life. I don't want to change it to my home country. And I think like that should be for everyone. Like, you come here for some kind of deal, right? For the idea of better life and all of that. So you should try to assimilate with the culture. I'm not saying that you need to completely leave who you are behind, but hey, you have these little communities. Like, there's a Polish community, I bet there's Russian community, Ukrainian community, and you don't see them trying to change the laws. They behave like normal Canadians, and then when they're within their own community, that's when they start talking their own language, following the habits, culture, all of it, right? And it's beautiful. And I think that's the way how to be a respectful immigrant. You're not trying to change the country where you're pretty much visitor, right? That's ridiculous. You don't come to someone else's house and start changing his furniture around. It's it's just ridiculous. I don't even know how we got to immigration from this. But yeah, like all of these points we saw in the video, are we really sure that it's about Danielle Smith trying to keep us in Canada? Because all of these points we heard are more like reasons to separate from Canada, maybe renegotiate a new deal with Canadian government and stay as a part of Canada, right? But at the same time, we can be either independent country or 51st state. And I'm pretty sure President Trump would like to have Alberta as 51st state. Look, it's conservative and we have oil and gas. Done deal.